compost is one of the most important things to think about if you want to do organic gardening, and that is because the soil needs to be nourished. It needs to have what we call tilth, which is a component that gives it enough matter so that when you water, it will stay there. It will give it some kind of like the meat in the loaf that you're gonna be able to keep your nutrients in there, and the roots will grow well and they'll have lots to feed on. So when you make compost, and the other thing about compost is it is a carbon sink. So really, really important that our farms and our gardens do add compost because we're keeping in the carbon. And when if you look at this particular composter, and there's as many types of composters as there are, it's like with my water barrels. We've collected a lot of different kinds over the years, experimented a lot, and it's really made a difference as far as figuring out what's the most practical, what's the easiest to use. And this particular one is a Garden Gourmet, and I just love it because it's so easy. It's right outside the back door. I bring out my vegetable scraps, put them in here. I bring around some chicken chips from the chicken coop. So they've got the fertilizer in here, and then first you make a bed out of those chicken chips, then you add in the beautiful food waste from your kitchen, and then over time get red wiggler worms are what is doing the consumption in here, although compost is always breaking down on its own anyway. But the red wiggler worms make it a lot faster. So if you look in here, you'll see a lot of worms doing their work. And then as we go down, I've got the different layers, so that this is the one getting close to being done. This is the secondary one, and then in the bottom I have the one that is just beginning. So lots of food scraps in there. And it's a fabulous, fun thing to do, especially with the kids. Teach them about how things break down, the importance of feeding your vegetables and your soil. And then in the bottom I actually have a little collector, because when the water comes in and it gets too wet, there's a drain in the very bottom of this one, so the water goes into the bucket, and then I have what is a wonderful liquid fertilizer I can just dump on the plants.